Hey guys, so today we are going to do a lab where we're going to look at the formula of photosynthesis and we are going to break it down and look at it under molecular form and under the word form today. So you will be able to find this lab in Canvas under modules for today, Friday, or you could be writing your answers in your notebook, just title it Paperclip Lab. So I want you right now to go ahead and write the formula for photosynthesis in your notebook, or you should be highlighting this formula if you printed the paper out. So the formula for photosynthesis is that we have 6 carbon dioxide plus 6 water, or H2O, and it yields or makes C6H12O6, which is glucose, and 6O2, which is oxygen. So that is the formula for photosynthesis. So it says that plants are called producers. They use sunlight energy to make food by photosynthesis. Plant cells contain green chloroplasts that can be seen using a microscope. Chloroplasts get their green color from chlorophyll, which is able to absorb sunlight energy and use it to build chemical energy in a food called glucose. The chemical equation is below. So they use sun's energy, radiant energy, to make chemical energy. So right now, I want you to tell me in your notebook or on this page how light is trapped for the process of photosynthesis. Your answer will be found right here in the paragraph. Go ahead and pause the video and answer the question, and then we'll get back. Okay. So at the top, it talked about how we're going to be using paper clips to represent the atoms, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So today, we are going to use 6 blue paper clips to represent carbon. And we're going to use 12 yellow paper clips to represent hydrogen. Oops. Sorry, you guys. And then we're going to use 18 green paper clips to represent oxygen. If you don't have these colored paper clips at home, you could use green, yellow, and blue paper, just 6, 12, and 18. Well, if you don't have colored paper at home, here's another option I'm going to show you. I went ahead, and since I don't have colored paper at home, and if I didn't have my paper clips, I would have just used coins. So I'm going to use 6 quarters to represent carbon. I'm going to use 12 dimes to represent hydrogen. And I'm going to use 18 pennies to represent oxygen. So if you don't have paper clips or colored paper at home, I would go ahead and change my paper to write that I'm going to use quarters. I'm going to use dimes and pennies. So just instead of paper clips, just use what you have available. So now that we've done that and we know what color is representing what or what type of coin you're using, we're going to start looking at the left-hand side of this formula. We're going to look at our reactants, what we need for photosynthesis to occur. So we need carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas in the air, and it must be present as a reactant or raw material for photosynthesis to occur. It seems unusual that a gas from the air can change into food. The chemical formula for carbon dioxide is CO2, which means it contains 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms joined together. So we are going to make CO2. So now we are on step 4. So we're going to make a model of CO2. So we need it says you are going to use 1 blue and 2 green paper clips. So 1 blue and 2 green. There you go. I have a carbon dioxide model. If I don't have that, remember I'm using my quarter, and my O, or oxygen, are my pennies. So there you go. There is CO2 represented. There's a number that's in front of CO2. A 6. That's a coefficient. A coefficient in front of CO2 is 6. This means there are 6 molecules of CO2 in this formula for photosynthesis. So how many more do we need to make? We've made 1. How many more do we need to make? We're going to need to make 5 more. So that answers our question for number 4. So I am gathering up and making 5 more models of CO2. So I want you to do the same right now. So you're either using your blue and your green paper clips, your blue and your green paper, or of course your coins. So I've made 6 molecules of CO2 because I had made 1 and I needed to make 5 more, but I'm also making it in coin form. So that for those who don't have colored paper or paper clips, I can show you that it is possible to do this at home. Okay, there's 5 more that we made. Then it says, how many of each colored paper clip will you need from the bag? So how many total did we need? We needed 6 blue and we needed 12 green. So we just finished answering both questions for number 4. Now number 5 says, plants also need water as a reactant for photosynthesis. So the formula, it also needs water. The chemical formula for water is H2O. There are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom present in an H2O molecule. So we need 2 hydrogen, which is represented by yellow, and we need 1 oxygen, which is green. So there you go. There is a water molecule. Remember, if you don't have that, your other option would be to use your coins, and I'm going to use my dimes to represent my hydrogen and my penny to represent my oxygen. So there you go. There is a water molecule in both ways. Then step 6 says, look at the chemical equation for photosynthesis. The number coefficient in front of H2O in the equation is 6, which means there are 6 water molecules. How many of each color of paper clip will we need from the bag? Well, we've only made 1. We need to make 5 more. So we're going to use all the rest of the green paper clips or paper, and we're going to use all of the yellow paper clips. You remember that you could also use paper, or you could use dimes and quarters and pennies, whatever that you have available. So I am showing both ways. So I've shown, there you go. There are my 6 water molecules. So how many did we need from the bag? We needed 6 green and 12 yellow. We just answered question 6. Now look at the right side of the equation for photosynthesis. To see the products or results of the reaction. The chemical formula for glucose is C6H12O6. Using the water and the carbon dioxide models, are there enough paper clips to build a glucose? Do we have enough paper clips to build a glucose. We're going to use those. So do we have enough to make a C6H12O6? I think we do. So we just answered question 7. Now question 8 tells us to build a glucose by taking apart the carbon dioxides and the waters. So we need to make a glucose. It requires 6 carbons, which are our blue paper clips. So I'm going to grab my blues, okay, or grab my quarters. Okay, the next thing it says is it needs 12 hydrogens. Well, my hydrogens were yellow, so I'm going to grab all 12 yellows and pile it with the blue. Well, in our hydrogens were representing of dimes, so I'm going to take all my dimes and put them with my quarters. And then the formula also says it needs 6 oxygen. So I need 6 greens or 6 pennies. So I've made 1 glucose molecule. Do I have enough to make another one? No. So how many did we make? We only made 1. So we just answered question 8. How many, then it says on question 9, how many oxygen paper clips remain after the production of glucose? So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We have 12 greens left. And oxygen doesn't like being by itself. So oxygen likes to pair up with something. So it pairs up with another oxygen atom. How many O2s are together? How many pairs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 pairs. So we have 6 oxygen molecules. So we've just made 1 glucose and 6 oxygen molecules from the original. So that answers question 9.